What's happening, everybody? Hell broke Lucy. If I have a motive for doing what I do, putting out my videos, other than helping the people to be informed, it's to inspire people to be better people. I don't give a fuck if you're religious, atheist, Republican, Democrat, progressive, liberal, it don't matter. You can be a better person. No matter what you are today, you can be a better person. Life is a success when you look back on the day and look, there was no way I could have been a better person today. And, you know, that holds true on a lot of days. I saw a video today that about put me over the edge. I saw it in the news, smart news, but it's already gone viral on Facebook, and I hadn't seen it. Of course, it's only a day old. It was a mother, had her child cornered on the floor, looked like in the kitchen between drawers, and was cussing her, threatening her, beating her with something, 14-year-old girl, because she caught her smoking and drinking. Well, the girl would probably just go on to smoke and drink more. She may become an alcoholic or an addict over this. It was sickening. If I could have reached through the phone to snatch that woman back, I'd have done it. This was pure evil. But you know what's sickening? There were hundreds and thousands of comments. Every one that I saw, except for maybe a half a dozen matched my comment, saying there's no excuse for this whatsoever. There is none. The rest of the comments condoned it, except for saying she shouldn't have televised it. Televised a word from the old school. You put it out there for people to see it's televised, whether it's on social media or whatever. That's the only thing I can find wrong with that. Is the majority of our nation really even more stupid than I thought y'all were? Is this really how you see is the way to stop drinking, drugging, beating their children? I'm asking a serious fucking question. I want comments on this video. Ain't no need me going off on you rotten parents. What I'm hoping is to reach some parents who think they're young parents that maybe think this is the way to go. I want to help you. Just because you're poor, you don't have to act poor. I grew up poor. I don't have no regrets about that. I'm glad I grew up poor rather than had a silver spoon handed to me, because I learned a lot more than the silver spoon children will ever learn. My parents didn't act poor. As far as behavior goes, they were the most sophisticated people on the block wherever we went. Their only problem was the indoctrination of the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses. That did plenty of damage on its own. I got whippings, but I don't hold no grudge against them. But I know my dad could have done better, because he's a smart guy. I have a 42-year-old son and daughter. They're noble, honorable children. Neither one of them ever heard me raise my voice at them, let alone strike them. Never made a threat. Any discipline I had to mete out was intelligent, and all it did was give them time to stop and think. I gave them reasons to want to please me. That's what my grandfather did to him. I wanted to please my grandfather really bad. He never laid a hand on me. I wanted to please him more than I wanted to please Dad. And Dad did put hands on me. So that goes to show what works. Make your children want to please you. Sit down and talk to them. Influence their life in a positive way, getting exercise, getting outdoors, doing things with other children. Don't let them become poor little robots of video games. There's a place to play in your mind. But playing outdoors in sports, outdoor activities, hiking, tennis, these are much better ways to go. You don't have to go into football. Go into nonviolent sports. And it don't have to be baseball or basketball. There's plenty of other sports. Your children are going to grow up and admire you. That's what breaks my heart so bad looking back. My parents were top class as far as behavior goes. Except for my dad whipping me, and I got more whippings than anybody. I was the oldest, and I was glad to get them in place of my brother or sister anyway. Motivate your child with reason. Start telling them how happy they'll be in life when they look back that they did to a life to where they did things where they were supposed to, for the good of the family, for the good of their neighbors, their friends, their friends that they played with. And when they're good, tell them. Even if this is every day, tell them. And that's what makes a child want to please you, is when you tell them how well they have done. Withhold that on the days they don't do so well. Not because they're sick or something, but when they could have done better. Just withhold the compliment. You'll find them come around the next day. Mommy, was I good today? And the child's not asking that out of fear. I didn't fear my parents, even though my dad whipped me. I feared losing their love. I did fear my parents. Yes, I did. I feared losing my dad's love. And that all goes back to the cult. You take my mom and dad out of the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, they've been as every bit the parent that me and my wife, the mother of my two children, we were good parents. Yes, sir. My children have no nightmares to look back on. No grudges to hold. I'm proud of what I've done as a father. My great crime was I was absent so much of the time. But when we were together, it was fun. A lot of laughter. I had custody of my son for about 4 months because he'd gotten under his mama's skin. He was a handful. When he was about 15, yeah, he wasn't driving yet. And he challenged my intelligence on how to deal with him. One day, he had repeated something so many times. Boy, my son's a genius, literally, but he's schizophrenic. Now, I didn't find out till a year ago what caused his schizophrenia. That's another story. But I blamed it all on myself for years. Ever since he was 17 and it started. I don't have to blame myself no more, but I still blame myself for being absent. Although he don't need me. He don't miss me or nothing. That's another story, schizophrenia. Because here's what I blame myself for. He'd been trying my patience on purpose with his cousins. And one day, maybe I was in pain, maybe I'd had a bad day at work or something. He pulled my last thread, and I turned to him like this. Just like that, with rage, anger in my eyes. And he jumped back like that. They'd never seen that before. I turned around, collect my shit, and turned back around and said, son, you've done fine today. Don't you worry about it. I had to do something to make up for me dropping the ball, even though he hadn't done fine that day. And we took it up the next day. And I figured out the way to put him on the course to not want to do it again. And wasn't a threat involved. Be better parents than this nasty bitch that I saw today. I put it on my Facebook page. Anybody wants to be my Facebook friend, you can find it Steve McClung with Hell Broke Lucy Dupree as the nickname on it. Send me a friend request. Let me know that you found me through YouTube. 'Cause I do a lot of talking there. A lot more than I do on video. But anyway, You don't have to act like you're poor. I'm poor, and I'm happy. And I don't have a lot of what people call necessities. That's getting ready to change, because I ain't never give up. All right, y'all. Love you. Later.